It's Wednesday, May the 17th, and you're tuned in to the tniab podcast. I'm Vince.
I'm Anthony.
That's right. This is the Geek Chic Culture Show. We talk about all the cool things in the world. Welcome to another week. Welcome to the middle of May. I hope May's going well for you. If you're in school, you're coming up on exams, so that's exciting.
Dun, dun, dun.
If not, well, I mean, if you're in high school. Because if you are in post-secondary, you're either on break...
Or you're working a crappy summer job.
Yeah. Or you've just graduated and now you are with the rest of us.
Ha ha, you don't know what to do with your life, sucker. Neither do we.
Yeah, we'll get a move on that one. It's a slow week this week, nothing really new to discuss. Mm-hmm. But we shall proceed. So first up, I'm going to go with... There's a new Blade Runner trailer. Blade Runner 2049. Ryan Gosling stars with Harrison Ford, and now this is the first full trailer. We get to see what the movie's actually about.
Yep.
Get to see a bit more action. Gotta say, it's looking very orange and blue.
Yeah, for some reason the trailer reminded me a lot of the trailers from Ghost in a Shell.
Yeah.
Like the way they portray the future, and just, I don't know, like the way they show scenery. Like whenever they show B-roll.
No, it's visually it looks amazing.
Yeah.
And I think it looks great. It remains to be seen how the story's going to play out, but it seems like Ryan Gosling is now what Harrison Ford used to do, but he has doubts and questions about it, and so he seeks out the master himself.
I used to be pretty good at this job. I know.
Yeah, apparently.
I have some questions.
And so, I don't know, it looks neat. I have yet to see Blade Runner.
Same.
So I feel like I should get around to that.
Should that go on the list with the rest of the Resident Evil movies?
Probably.
All right.
Yeah, no, it looks good. I'm hyped for it. The other thing on my radar this week kind of caught me off guard. It came out last night, and I didn't think I'd like it as much as I did, but there's a new sitcom from Fox coming this fall, and it's called The Orville.
So I saw a bunch of this.
Yeah.
Like, not the trailer, but a bunch of news about it. Comparing it to Galaxy Quest and Spaceballs.
Yeah.
And that got me so excited.
Yeah, and it's exactly what it is. That's what it looks like.
Yeah.
And I gotta say, like, the premise alone is something I'd be super into, but the one thing I thought I would hate about it was Seth MacFarlane, because I'm not really a Seth MacFarlane fan.
Yeah.
I kind of hate all the things he does.
Yeah, like Family Guy, kind of one note. American Dad is a little better.
Yeah, and, but in this, I was like, wow, he's actually pretty funny, and, like, he doesn't seem like someone I'm irritated by in this trailer.
How did you like the Ted movies?
I didn't.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I liked Ted 1. I didn't like Ted 2.
Like, I thought, like, Ted was alright, but it wasn't something I'd go back to, or even recommend to
Or think about.
Yeah.
Okay, alright.
There's only that one scene where I think Mark Wahlberg lists off all the girls.
Oh, yeah. All the white trash names.
Yeah. That's, like, the only thing I know from Ted now. Yeah. But no, this looks surprisingly good.
Have you seen, like, Galaxy Quest or Spaceballs?
I love Galaxy Quest.
Galaxy Quest is great.
That's a great movie. Tim Allen and, yeah, it's a good movie. It's stupid, but it's good.
How did the pig turn out? He's inside out. What? Yeah, I like that whole thing of just, like, the fan... The show turned out to be real and an alien life form based their stuff around him.
Oh my gosh, it was hilarious.
Yeah.
Sure, watch.
Yeah, I'm kind of excited. I didn't realize it was a TV show, though.
Yeah.
So maybe I won't get around to watching it, but...
Yeah. I don't know. It's like one of those things... I guess it's... When's the last time it's, like, space sci-fi on television? I can't remember.
I don't know.
At least on a big network. Like, the last couple ones have been on... Say,
Ben 10.
No, I mean, like, they've been on, like, the Sci-Fi Channel, and it's like, well, no shit.
Well, everything on the Sci-Fi Channel now is, like, Shark versus Tornado 7.
That's true.
Adrian's Revenge. Like,
yeah, that's true, yeah. But no, I'm excited to see it.
Yeah, I thought this trailer looked actually funny.
I think I really like the style of comedy because it's from director Jon Favreau.
Mm-hmm.
He, if you guys don't know, he plays Happy in the Iron Man movies, the butler. He also directed the first 2 Iron Man movies, so that should let you know the tone of this trailer. But it's sick. Those are my picks.
Okay, my picks are more business related. So Square Enix came out on the 11th and was like, "Hey, guess what?
What up?
Remember that sick developer IO Interactive? They made that really great Hitman game that won a bunch of awards.
I've heard.
We're dropping them." So they said that IO Interactive has, while the games did like critically very well, the gamble on the digital focused sales, like the monthly level every month or so, didn't really pan out for them.
Mm-hmm.
And they're saying that Square Enix recorded an extraordinary loss of 4.989 billion yen, which is approximately like 43 million US dollars.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, though, is that Square Enix doesn't say, hasn't released like what exactly were the like what lost them money.
They've just lumped up all their liabilities into one account.
And they're just like, hey, we lost this much money last year. We're not going to tell you what lost us money, but we just lost it. And because of this, we have to let IO go. Right? And so right now it's kind of up in the air whether IO is going to get the Hitman license back or what they're going to do afterwards. Like if they're going to be able to find a publisher, if they'll have to disband and make a new team and what's going on. But it's just weird to hear because everyone I talked to last year is just like, dude, you gotta play Hitman. And these are people who are buying it monthly. Right? And are buying every level piecemeal. And then podcasts, just gaming websites just couldn't get enough of Hitman. And it was kind of a shocking thing to see, just like, hey, we're dropping this developer even though they made all this great work, right? I would be interested in seeing Square Enix's numbers. Like, I want to know how much maybe Final Fantasy made them or lost them in comparison, or the MMO branch too, just stuff like that, right?
Yeah, I am curious to know, I guess, how they do their reporting. I can't imagine they would say like put all of Final Fantasy, like say a game is made, right?
Yeah,
like it's like, let's say a game has like a 5-year term, right?
Yeah,
I'd imagine that the budget for that game is reported every year and not loaded all into the year that the game's released. So, to have that, like those huge losses, I'm curious to know where it comes from. Like, is it really? Because I as much as I don't think Final Fantasy is what it used to be, I still do believe that financially that game had to be a success.
Oh yeah, just everyone and their moms talked about that game forever, right?
Hitman. Like you said, like it seemed like a critical darling.
Yeah,
but
look at Clover, like you know how that works out.
Yeah. So, I mean, because I didn't play it, I know the majority of people who play video games didn't play it. I would say, like the general mainstream audience. Like,
yeah, I think I hang around like maybe a very specific crowd of people.
You do.
Yeah.
So I think, but I mean, like, you know, people playing Call of Duty.
True.
And past week, Overwatch claimed that they have 30 million users.
Or isn't it 40 million?
Is it 40 now?
I thought it was. I can't remember what multiple of tens it was.
Well, there you go. That's where all the money's going last year. So
sure.
I'm part of the problem, but
how could you?
Yeah. So, but no, it does kind of suck. But I mean, I hate to say it, but it's always like that Square thing, because they did this at Tomb Raider the previous year, right? They're like,
hey,
this
American company,
yeah, right? They shut on Tomb Raider, even though that was their biggest game that year.
Yeah,
and it's like,
yeah. The main reason I would like to see the numbers is I wonder if they're dropping IO because it is a North American branch.
Yeah,
and even if say a different branch of like a Japanese branch of Square Enix lost them more money in like percentage wise,
they would keep
if they're just like, we got to keep this Japanese game dev spirit alive. Like, yeah, because Japan is no stranger to being nationalist, right?
No, totally. They're a very proud country.
Yeah, they're proud of their culture and proud of that stuff, and it wouldn't surprise me if it leaked over into their business practices.
Yeah, no, I'm 100% sure that's what it is, which is a shame, but that's how they work.
Okay. Well, keeping on the Japanese game train, a new game was announced by the creators of Parappa the Rapper and Gitaru Man.
Gitaru Man.
It came out on Sony's official YouTube page. It was a trailer. First it was like a teaser. It's called Project Rap Rabbit. It is a new rhythm action game, again made by the creators of Parappa the Rapper and Gitaru Man.
Yeah.
These people also made Vib Ribbon, if you ever played that on the PS1, Elite Beat Agents, the Oendan games.
Yeah.
So they have a long history of rhythm games. And later in the week, it was revealed that they Shenmue 3 the shit out of this game, which is, it's a Kickstarter.
For sure.
So they're looking at, I think it was £855,000.
Dang.
to make a game, which I think is just like over $1 million in US dollars.
Using the pound, yeah,
maybe
less than that,
maybe. And so, but it's a Kickstarter,
yeah.
So that was kind of disappointing to see. But the
Shenmue out.
Pardon?
Is Shenmue out yet?
No, I kickstarted that.
Oh, okay.
I'm still waiting for it.
All right.
I get like updates every month about it.
All right.
I just wonder if it'll happen. We'll see.
Okay. Anyways,
Project Rabbit, the kind of explanation of what the game is going to be came out, and it's a rhythm action game where you can kind of change your lyrics of what you're rapping almost in real time. So how they explained it is that while you're rapping to different people, you can talk to them differently or rap to them differently by picking almost like a Mass Effect dialogue wheel.
Cool.
You can change certain lyrics into certain types of lyrics. So you can change them into dissing or coercing or anger or happiness or whatever, right? And based on that emotion, it'll change the lyric within the rap. And so as you're rapping, you can flip up your song on the fly, and there's probably like a best way to get through it.
For sure.
And all that stuff. It sounds like a really interesting idea because they do bring it up in their Kickstarter video, which is Parappa the Rapper isn't really a rapping game. It's a rhythm game with rapping in it. You're just pressing the buttons along.
Yeah.
Same thing with Guitar Man. Like Guitar Man's not about ripping on sick chords on your guitar. It's about following the path and pressing circle when you need to.
Right.
So the fact that this sounds more like a actual rapping game sounds really awesome. So I recommend you guys check that out if you wanna back it. They got the Kickstarter page. I think they still got a good like 32 days in their Kickstarter left. But it seems like a really interesting project. It's also very Japanese.
Very.
Yeah, the trailer starts out with this crazy just string quartet of Japanese instruments and all the temples and gold and stuff.
Yeah, I'm curious to see if this does well because I mean the rhythm game scene is all but dead.
It was Guitar Hero and Rock Band drove it into the ground.
Yeah.
And nobody really wanted to try
anything. And then the Parappa Rapper remaster came out, and everyone tried the demo and were like, oh, we remember why this died out.
So I'm wondering if that Parappa the Rapper demo was like we're going to test the waters type of thing.
Yeah.
It'd be like, hey, if Parappa the Rapper can do like a certain amount of numbers and sales, we'll either back you, and if it doesn't, we'll make it a Kickstarter or something like that. So I wonder how much of that remaster had to do with it.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? I don't know if this will succeed or fail.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the middle. I don't think if it does succeed, I don't think it's gonna go by a wide margin because they got some crazy ass stretch goals.
Yeah,
like for a Switch version, they want pretty much 4 times their asking price. Yeah. So like, there was a while ago when the Skullgirls developers wanted to add new characters and they had a Kickstarter for it.
Yeah.
And they came out with just flat, like, here is what it costs to make like 3 DLC characters. And it was like $500,000.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, what the hell? That's ridiculous. That's crazy. Oh my gosh. And they came out and just said, hey, here is the raw facts. Like, we got to pay people. We got to pay licensing fees, equipment, all this stuff. VO. It's insane, right? And they broke down all the costs. So it doesn't really surprise me when they're asking for so much for multiple platforms.
Yeah.
But I wonder if because it was announced on the Sony platform, I wonder if Sony is like, hey, you can only make... like, because it's coming out on a Sony platform first. And like, that's the main platform.
Like they will subsidize most of the costs.
Yeah.
And if you can get this final thing, you're guaranteed our subsidy.
Yeah, and then if you really make a lot, then we'll allow you to go and make your own, but we won't subsidize like that.
Yeah,
that
but then you'll have to pay the Nintendo fees and then all the okay. That's ridiculous,
right? It's it's just this week has been a week of I want to see the backroom dealings of like both Square Enix and this to just see what is really going on and what's influencing these numbers. People, but other than that, it's been kind of a slow week. Though one of my favorite videos on the internet is A History of Japan by Bill Wirtz. It's pretty fantastic if you haven't watched it. He just released a brand new one. You've probably watched it already. It was like number one trending on YouTube for like 3 days. It's called the History of the Entire World, I guess. And he goes from the Big Bang all the way to current time, going through the history of the world. It is a 20-minute video of non-stop history lesson.
Mm-hmm.
The cool thing about this is I asked my friend who she's a history major and she's also double majoring in like ancient literature and like Greek and stuff. And she's like, yeah, the most of this, like, this is all true. This is all stuff that
it's true. I mean, like, it cuts out some details.
Oh yeah, it's like here's the overview of everything, right? And if you want to go deeper, you can dig deeper. Like, who are the Tamil kings?
But it's basically. It's like someone giving you all the answers to a math problem, not showing you any of the work.
Right? Yeah.
So
it's a pretty great video.
Yeah, well, it's good. It's good.
I really like it.
I do wonder what led him to this video though, because you would imagine at some point he probably got requests like, "Oh, do America next, do America," and then did he just get multiple requests from all different countries? He's like, "Fuck it, I'm doing it at once."
His webpage is fantastic. It's like a really shitty HTML only, no CSS webpage.
Wow.
And he has a space where you can ask him questions. And for a good while, it was just like, when are you going to make another history of X? When are you going to make another history of X, right? And he just went through the list. And he eventually made his own tag on it that's called More of the Same.
Yeah.
So when you click on those, it just here's all the people that requested a history of X video. So that's pretty funny. But yeah, probably just him. He's been working on it apparently for like 11 months or so. This whole video.
Yeah. I can imagine it's not his full-time job, and
there's a lot of editing to all the history he had to search up. But yeah, I think it's just probably everyone was asking him for a specific country, and he just said, "Nah, son."
Yeah, let's just go. It is crazy to think how much stuff happens within the most recent, like, 100, 200 years.
Yeah. And a lot of it is because, like, we have better documentation of what happened, so that we have more accuracy. Mm-hmm. But in the beginning of the video, it goes from, like, here's nothing, 1 billion years later, we're all a bunch of gas. Like, 5 trillion years later, here's a star, right? Yeah. There's always these big gaps in history at the beginning.
Even in just civilization from like 2000 BC to year 0.
Yeah.
Like, it takes a lot of time for stuff to get rolling. But then they're like, oh, World War I. It's like 5 years. Yeah. World War II, let's do it.
Check out all this technology. You got a cell phone. Now it's a computer phone. Now it's all this stuff, right? Yeah. It's kind of crazy how fast we're moving.
Makes you wonder where we're going to be in the next 5 years.
What was it? The ending line in that video is, where are we anyways? Like, that was kind of just like this weird existential crisis sentence to leave you on. It's like, shit, where are we?
Yeah, for sure. Cool. No, it was fun.
But yeah, that's been all the things I want to highlight.
Neato. Let's move into our weeks. My week was pretty boring. Nothing really major happened.
I think something major happened.
I didn't really do anything.
Something happened to you.
Oh, yeah, okay. So, I crashed my bicycle.
Yes.
I fell straight on my face. Broke my helmet. And then my sunglasses, which protected my eye. The rim dug into my cheekbone.
It did not protect your eye.
Yeah. It cut open my cheekbone, and I got 6 stitches across my right cheek. I showed Anthony the pictures and stuff.
Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah, it was pretty nuts. It was my first time getting stitches, so that was fun. And they have to put a needle under your eyeball to do it. And the doctor, she was a young doctor, but she looked at me and she said, so first she looked at the scar or the cut, and she's like, she lifted up the bandage. She's like, oh, okay, yeah, you're gonna need stitches. And then I'm like, okay. And she's like, okay, I'm gonna have to freeze you. It's gonna take 2 needles. I'm like, okay. She's like,
gonna.
She looked at me like in my eye, and she's like, and she's holding the needle. She's like, this is gonna sting. And I'm like, okay. She's like, no,
for real.
It's gonna sting.
It's gonna hurt. When the doctor says it's gonna sting, it's gonna hurt.
I feel like a doctor can't say it can hurt. That's why they emphasize the sting.
It's gonna sting, like all capital letters.
Yo, she was not lying. She was not lying. It was like the most painful needle I've ever had. Think about getting a needle in the softest, fleshiest skin right under your eyeball.
Oh, delicious.
Oh, and then she just squirted the liquid. And then after she was done that, the nurse came and gave me a tetanus shot because they're like, hey, you need a new tetanus shot.
Anyways, like, you might as well get it while you're here?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was like, okay, thanks. That needle I didn't even feel that needle. I was so focused on the one I just had. I was like, Man, this sucks. But yeah, and then she stitched up my face. That's a weird feeling. When you
Just
feel, yeah,
feeling like the hook. Did you get the hook needle?
Yeah.
Yeah, and we're just like goes through.
Yeah, so I don't know. I'm sure you guys have tried sewing things together,
Now imagine sewing your face.
Yeah, and then you feel when you tie your shoe and you feel the two ends of the shoe come closer together? Yeah. Think of that with your face.
Awesome.
And it's just like,
that sounds so cool.
It just feels so weird. It's a weird sensation. Yeah, and then that happened on Wednesday, and then yesterday was Monday. I got my stitches out, and that was also a weird feeling.
So now you got a sweet battle scar.
Yeah, it's not fully healed yet, but it'll probably go away a little bit more, and then I'll probably just have like a little line by the end of it.
So what I was saying is you should have just got the railroad track scar.
No.
Or like you should have fell on your face in a way where it would have like cut down your eye.
You see, I wish we lived in the future, like the space future, where you see people with like tattooed faces and it's the norm.
Yeah.
Or like they have tattoos on like
everyone looks like Mike Tyson and nobody bats an eye.
Yeah.
Okay.
If we lived in the future, totally, then I would have done that and I would have like got a design out of it, but we don't. We're not there yet.
We need jobs.
Yeah. So I figure I shouldn't do anything drastic. But yeah, no, it was fun. Oh yeah, so when they took the stitches out, that's a weird feeling because then you feel
because you didn't get the dissolving stitches. You got regular
I had to get them out, and so my doctor cut them out. Or she cut them one by one, and then she pulled it because that's you get the stitches out, and it just feels like there's a tiny little bug crawling its way out under your eyeball, and it was gross.
Did it hurt or was it just gross?
No, it was just gross. Like I felt it but it felt like something was crawling there, and it didn't hurt. It was just like, there's something coming out of me. And it was gross.
That's gross.
Yeah. And then she put it on the table, and I'm like, oh yeah, those are stitches for sure. But yeah, no,
so there you go. Now you know, kids.
Yeah, so I didn't really do anything. I was mostly sleeping, recovering. I played more Overwatch, and then I watched the Spanish Grand Prix.
Tell me all about it, because I haven't watched it yet.
That might be one of the best races I have seen.
Really?
It had everything you wanted. It had the two best drivers and the two best cars going at it. It had strategy. It had a dash of luck. And they did it on a track that is traditionally one of the most boring races in the year.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, so it was like you couldn't predict who was going to win it until the very end.
So do you think the start of the season car changes are to thank for this, or is it the drivers just being more aggressive? I
don't know. Maybe it's the development changes, but I think it's it's the laws of diminishing returns. What is it? 3 years ago, Mercedes started off as like the giant, right? But like they could only stay at the top for so long, and someone had to eventually catch up, and Ferrari finally did it. It also helps that they have the most decorated driver on the grid to challenge them, and Sebastian Vettel, when he's at his best, he's an animal. He's currently leading the championship, so it's fun to see someone else that's not in a Mercedes car leading, but it's cool that it's not a runaway championship, and at this point it is so 100% clear that Kimi Räikkönen and Valtteri Bottas, the other two drivers, are clearly number 2.
Oh wow!
Like it is so.
Wait, Ferrari has 3 drivers?
No, Ferrari has Vettel and Räikkönen.
Okay.
And then Mercedes is Hamilton and Bottas, but it is so clear that the Finnish boys are like they're number two.
Well, I don't know. Kimi Räikkönen is getting kind of old, and I don't think you can drive a car off of sass.
Yeah,
so.
That's true. But it is like if there was any doubt, it's like nope, they're number 2 driver. There's a point in the race where Mercedes' second driver, they're like, you're gonna hold up Vettel, like you're not going for the win.
Wow,
and he does it.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so it's just like it's cool because I think I've been watching F1 for 15 years now, and Hamilton and Vettel came in around the same time. And even though they have the most championships on the grid in the past decade, they've never actually gone head to head.
Wow, okay.
They've never had that. And this
has it just been like car differences?
Yeah, like when Hamilton won his championships, he had the best car, and Vettel was in some rookie bullshit. And then there was the 4 years where Vettel had the amazing Red Bull.
Yeah.
And Hamilton wasn't in a McLaren that could win.
Yeah.
And they're finally at a time where it's like the these are two drivers I think the whole fandom wanted to see fight, and this seems to be the year. The first 4 races were really shaping up to that, but this was the race where they actually had to go head to head.
Okay.
And you could tell that it's like, oh, these are two giants, and they're gonna
battle it.
They're gonna battle it out. It's like, and it's so fun to watch.
Yeah, that makes sense because this is actually. So I started watching F1 like around when I met you, so like 4 years ago or so. And like this is the only season where I've gotten to like the 5th race. Yeah. And I'm like, I still want to watch this season. It's not just a runaway. Let's go. Like,
yeah, it's pretty cool. It's neat to see. But yeah, so if you're not watching Formula 1, this is a good season to catch up and watch it.
When's the Montreal one?
June 10th.
June, okay.
Yeah. Monaco's in 2 weeks.
Ooh. Like that. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. That's been your week?
It's been my week.
Getting gashed and
stitching my eyeball in Formula 1.
Just a regular day at the office.
You know how it is.
I finished Persona 5.
You did? And?
The game's really good.
Okay. I'm going to just test you right now.
Okay.
3, 4, 5, which rank them?
3, 4, 5?
Yeah, rank them.
Give it a 4.
No. I mean, like...
Oh, like Persona 3, 4, and 5.
Yeah.
Ooh. Okay. I could do, like, separate rankings. So, like, ranking on soundtrack.
No.
I still think... Because of the story in 3, that 3 is still my favorite.
Oh, I like hearing that.
3 is still really good, but 5 is second.
Really?
I like 5 more than I like Persona 4. For all the complaints you can get out of Persona 5, it feels like it's like when we complain about the Breath of the Wild. Right. Yeah. So Persona 5 isn't this game-changing product like Breath of the Wild is, but it's still really good. And every time I want to say something negative about it, it feels like nitpicking.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Just things like I mentioned last week. The cat won't shut up about going to sleep.
Well, you're tired, man.
You're tired. It turns out like you can bypass that through a social link if you do a certain thing, but like. I didn't get it. Okay. So, and everything just feels like it's such a minor issue, especially like the beginning tutorials. The amount of tutorials in that beginning thing are just too much. They hold your hand and they don't want you to let go. The cat going to sleep. Some of your teammates are just they feel like specifically Ryuji. He feels like a mix between Kanji and Yosuke. Yeah. And it's just like, we didn't think of a character, we just put these two characters together and made something. But the thing is like, social links in that game are more important than ever. There's the story of every social link is something not only that you want to follow through just for story, but also just for usefulness. Like, you get insane skills from these social links. The way they lay out the city of Tokyo, and going to different places, like Shinjuku, Harajuku, all these places, right? It feels like a big city. I think we mentioned it before when you first get off that subway station. Yeah. And they're like, go to school. And you're like, I don't know where to go, right? This big city's all scary. The world they set up, the little caveat, like the little weird dungeon persona thing they set up is all fun. And also the story is very, I want to say, I'd be hard-pressed to believe they didn't take cues from today's political climate to make use of some story points. This game is actually very politics-focused, which is surprising. And I really like it because I like those more mature stories, which is why I like 3 so much. And 4 was, even though it was fun Scooby-Doo adventures, I don't really remember much from that other than check out this gas station attendant touched your hand. Yeah. Right.
That's that game, yeah. In a nutshell.
Yeah, here some dude is throwing people into TVs and he keeps calling ladies bitches, and then the gas station attendant touched your hand. Right? That's like all of Persona 4 in a nutshell. I think the story in that game is probably the least memorable out of the recent 3. So yeah, Persona 5 is just fantastic. I think I clocked in around 93 hours. Yeah. The total time exactly. It was like 92-58 or something.
Okay.
But it's a long game. There's a lot there. You still get insta killed sometimes. Like you'll be in a dungeon just like chilling through. Like I can't wait till they get to the next save room, right?
Yeah.
Blah blah blah. And then some guy's just like, oh, you want to get to the save room, huh? Haman, you're dead.
Yeah, we all been there.
Because you didn't switch out the dude who's weak to light.
It is. I think it is. At the end of the day, it's still a Shin Megami Tensei game.
Yeah.
So to be expected.
Yeah, for as much as they hold your hand with stuff, like it's still there. I also like the balance they struck between. So Persona 3's battle system was super complex. You had 3 different types of melee attacks. You had all the different types of magic attacks.
Yeah.
All right, and it always felt like you were struggling to get the right Persona loadout for what dungeon you're in.
Yeah.
At least to me. And in Persona 4, they scaled that way back. And it's like, hey, there's an ice guy. Do you have the fire guy?
Yeah.
Good. Right. But this one, they had the gun physical attack, and they add psychic and nuke as extra elements.
Wow.
And they really strike this weird balance between the complexity of 3 and the simplicity of 4. That makes it so strategy is still important, but you don't feel like you're going to get just fucking rolled if you don't have the right persona, right? You can still salvage something if you play smart enough with your teammates.
Very cool.
It's really fun. Yeah, I can't really say too much bad about this game because again, it's all nitpicky. But
cool.
The soundtrack is my favorite soundtrack, though.
Yeah, it's grown on me. I really do like what I've been hearing of it.
If you guys haven't listened to it, everyone's on YouTube. Probably uploaded a bunch of songs.
Yeah.
My favorite song in that soundtrack is "Life Will Go On." I think it's the one where you're in class in school. There's just like some really sick drum beats in that, but it's all jazz inspired. I really like jazz.
Yeah.
So that game's fantastic.
Cool.
Shit.
Before we wrap up on Persona 5, most important question.
Yes.
Who'd you pick?
Okay. I'm gonna tell you who I wanted to pick.
I don't care about who you want. Who did you pick?
No one.
What?
Yeah, so this is...
Oh, no!
Here's what happened.
Were you trying to play safe till the end, and then all of a sudden you just never got the option?
No, so what happened is I did get the option. So I was going for Takemi, the punk rock doctor.
Yeah.
Right? And I was like, man, she's just so cool.
Yeah.
I wanna bump dirties with the doctor.
Yeah.
And in how it works is that when you get to social rank 9, that is when you decide if you're going to be platonic or if you're going to be in a romance.
Oh.
Right? You get a bunch of you get 3 questions, and if you answer them all in the romantic sense, you're going to get some.
Yeah.
And then if you answer them if you answer even one in a friendly manner,
yeah.
Then you're going to be friends.
Yeah.
So the thing with this game is another nitpick is that a lot of the dialogue choices a lot of the times don't really matter.
Okay.
Right? It'll be like, hey, do you want to go to the dungeon? And your 2 options are, yeah, let's go, or I'm on it. Right? So either way, you're going to the dungeon. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And there was this one section. So I was confessing my love to the doctor. It was like, I love you. And she's like, haha, nice, funny. It's like, no, for real, I'm not joking.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, you're not joking, are you? And then there were 2 options. It was either, yes, I'm serious, or what do you think?
Oh.
Right? And so I'm like,
I know what you picked.
And so I picked what do you think?
That's what you would say.
Because I was like, oh, that's like witty and funny. Like I'm getting there, right? Like I already made it super obvious in the first 2. Like I just confessed it. And then it turns out, nah, son, I just want to be friends because you, what do you think, right? And I'm like, God damn it. And I messed up. Then my backup was the teacher.
Yeah.
Was it, Kawakami, I think her name is.
Okay.
And I got to rank 9 with her, and I picked all the romance options. And then I got into the final stretch of the story, and then I couldn't go back and get her to rank 10. I couldn't do 10.
Oh, no! You are awful at video games.
I'm terrible. I had 4 social links at rank 9.
Oh, no.
And then the end of the game happened. So the thing is, though, New Game Plus, it allows you to carry over all of your Persona Compendium, all of your equipment. If you have got to rank 10 in social links, you will get like the special social link item at the end of the game. And it'll be like, okay, so once you get this confidant again, you just unlock all their abilities.
Is there a trophy for having a social link with each confidant?
Yes.
Oh, no.
There is a trophy for maxing out every single confidant in one playthrough. Which New Game Plus makes significantly easier because you get to keep all your progress towards your social stats. Yeah. So like your charisma and your guts and all that.
That's cool.
It's not like the old games where they had to be maxed for you to keep it. Like if you're at rank 4 or 5 and you New Game Plus, it'll still be rank 4 or 5.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, so I have everything 5 except for kindness. So I don't have to spend time reading books or building up my personality.
You can just go straight to bed.
Yeah, I can just go straight to bed. It's fine.
You just keep building those lockpicks.
Yeah, it's great. There's an eternal there's an item I highly recommend you try and farm for this. It's called the Eternal Lockpick.
Oh,
it does exactly what you think
I was gonna say that sounds very useful.
It does exactly what you think it does.
All right.
Because there are tons of different ways to upgrade your proficiency through other means. So yeah, this Persona 5. I really like that game. It's fantastic. It's a fantastic
game.
Cool.
Better than Zelda?
No.
Ooh,
no.
Damn.
Don't. I can't imagine a game that will come out this year that will be better than Zelda.
All right. I can't wait to play Nier.
Hopefully soon. I want to play it really bad. But yeah, I can't think of a game that'll come out this year that's better than Zelda.
All right, cool.
Yeah, and then I watched some movies. I watched 2 movies one was called Broadcast News, and the other one is called Defending Your Life. They're both by the same director, and I think the director also stars in it. So, I don't know, we're going to start. I'll start off with Defending Your Life. So, they're both kind of comedies.
Yeah.
But Defending Your Life is about this guy. He's a successful business person. So the guy, Albert Brooks, if you've ever seen him. You've probably seen his face, but he's been in a lot of stuff. So, in Defending Your Life, Albert Brooks' character is he's an up-and-coming executive. He's making a lot of money, buying new things. And he kind of lives like a kind of mediocre life. And as he's driving his brand new Beamer, he drops something on the floor of the car. And he's not looking where he's going, and he drives straight into a bus. He dies.
Okay.
Right? And so the whole movie takes place in the afterlife. Okay. And what it is that your life is put on trial.
Oh, that's fun.
And so there is Earth is more of a waiting room than anything, right? There's no hell, there's no heaven. There's only the ability to move your consciousness forward. The analogy they use is, so you know how humans only use like 5% of their brain or whatever?
Sure.
If you're chosen to move forward, you can unlock more potential of your brain, like 30% or 50% or whatever, right? But the thing is, you are only chosen to move forward if you have lived a full life. And for them to live a full life, it means living a life without regret and without fear. Fear is the big thing in this. So what'll happen is that you have a lawyer, you have a defense lawyer, and you go up against a prosecution lawyer. And they sit you down in front of 2 judges, and they nitpick scenes from your life and make you watch them.
Okay.
And they ask you or they try and make a case to the judge, which is pretty much, this person has done great. They lived a life without fear and all this stuff, and they deserve to move forward with their consciousness, right? But the prosecution is trying to be like, this person has lived in fear. Look at all these examples of where they didn't live life to the fullest.
Yeah.
Right. And so Albert Brooks' character is stuck. But the thing is it turns into a rom-com almost.
Oh.
He finds Meryl Streep. They're hanging out because pretty much this waiting room area, this pseudo heaven, is like it's like an old person's retirement resort.
Oh.
There's a bunch of different hotels.
I see.
You go to all you can eat and stuff. So he meets Meryl Streep from another hotel and just instantly falls in love. This is like the true love of his life and all this stuff. And so he sees her life, and it's just like she's like saving cats from burning buildings and shit and like doing all this crazy stuff. But he has all these regrets from life. And so he's nervous about confessing love to her because he's not as good as her and all this stuff. And it turns into like a really interesting look at life in general and how people should quote unquote live their lives.
Yeah.
Right. It was actually pretty funny and also pretty insightful.
Oh, okay. How old is it?
The movie came out in 1991.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so it's relatively old. Rip Torn's in it, the guy, the chief from Men in Black.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I still find it funny. His name is Rip Torn.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Wow. His parents cursed him.
I think he changed it for Hollywood, but even then, why would you change it to that? Whatever. But the other movie is also with Albert Brooks. It's called Broadcast News. It came out in 1987. It revolves around three characters. There's Albert Brooks's character, who is kind of this dork. I like the thing they do at the beginning of the movie, which is show everyone in their childhood states.
Yeah.
Right? So there's Albert Brooks and his character. He's a nerd. Gets picked on all the time. But he's like a nerd with confidence and he knows he's going to go somewhere. So there's a scene where he's getting beat up and he says to the bullies, he's like, see this bruise? This'll heal. But you'll never heal these words. You'll never make more than $19,000 a year. Right? And all this stuff. Wow. And he thinks he's going to be hot shit in the future. There's the main girl interest, where she is kind of this like obsessive compulsive OCD person. And she's obsessed with the news. She's obsessed with doing her job correctly and morally and all this stuff. And then there's good looking jock Tom. Yeah. And Tom is they show him he's like the lovable goofball. Yeah. But he's pretty much gotten through life solely on his looks. Oh. And he's a news anchor. Okay. Right? So the other two are behind the scenes while Tom is the news anchor. And it becomes this story of morality, like sticking to your morals, not only in the news business, but in life. So they actually use news as a lot of analogies. So what they're worried about is news becoming too fluff, right? And they're not covering real news. They're just like, oh, look, this dog got stuck in a tree. Heartwarming story, right? It's not real news. It's just, here's something to fill time and get ratings, right? And it's a battle between sticking to your morals and doing what you feel like. Yeah. So the main love interest for the two men, she's torn. She knows that this person, that Albert Brooks' character is someone she's known for a long time. They get together on a level that like pretty much lovers do, but they're only friends. Yeah. Right. But then Tom rolls into the picture and he's just hot. Right. And but the thing is that Tom goes against everything that she stands for within the news industry, right? Like he only covers fluff pieces. He doesn't actually know what he's talking about when he reports the news. He just regurgitates it pretty much, right? And so it's the whole thing of, do I go with tried and true? Do I go with hotness? Is there a third option? Right?
Is there a third option?
There's no third option. But this movie, I was written very well in terms of like figuring out your morals and stuff like that, like getting that section of the movie down. But the way they wrote the female character from the beginning, she is this super strong, independent person, right? But as soon as like someone who's hot shows interest in her, she's like, oh, I gotta throw out all my characteristics for this hot dick, like, right? At the beginning, she meets Tom, and she's trying to get some, right? She's like trying to get this one-night stand going on, and it comes off as really awkward, because she's very awkward. And it's funny, because she's just trying to get, like, a one-night stand thing. But that mentality stays through the whole movie, even though you have been shown on multiple occasions that she is a very smart, independent career woman. Mm-hmm. And as soon as this guy shows up, she just turns into putty and like throws away all of her morals. And like, she's just like, I want to be with the hot guy. Right. And she just becomes a mess. So I didn't really understand that aspect of the movie.
Because you're not a woman.
Maybe. Or maybe it was like the time it was written. It was written in the 80s. Right. Or I wonder who it was written by. I wonder if it was written by a girl or a male, but I don't remember. But yeah, because that character turn I didn't understand, right? I'm just like, you have been proven through and through to be this person who sticks to your guns, and as soon as someone hot rolls by, you throw all that out the window. And I just didn't get it. So that kind of threw like the movie is good.
Yeah.
Just that her character arc is just fucking weird. Because you think it was just going to be a one night thing, right? You think it was just going to be this little stint at the beginning of the movie, but it's the whole movie.
Oh,
it's weird.
That's her character. That's her problem.
I guess. So, yeah, that was. I think I liked Defending Your Life better than Broadcast News, but I thought they were both pretty good.
All right,
and that's been the new stuff in my week.
Cool. I'm surprised you didn't get around to watching 13.
Oh, I did watch 13 Reasons.
Oh, did you?
That's true. I forgot. I watched 5 episodes of 13 Reasons.
Oh, okay.
So I think the last thing, there has still like everyone's still going through their tapes, but there's starting to be like this third storyline of other people who got the tapes are now like, this other guy who has tapes is going nuts. We need to control him, right? It's turning into like this weird espionage thing.
Oh yeah, but they're all high schoolers.
Yeah, they're all high schoolers. Yeah. The first thing you did this to me. You mentioned this to me on Twitter. Like you tried to make me real or understand why this would happen. But in the first episode, homeboys are rolling down the street in like a Mustang, like 70s Mustang. And they're listening to Joy Division.
Well, come on. That guy's in a fucking Mustang with a cassette player.
In a leather jacket.
Yeah, can you really blame him?
Like, maybe that's the only music he has. But I asked a bunch of teens I know.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hey, do you guys listen to Joy Division? And they're like, who the fuck is Joy Division?
I mean, like, he's got the grease haircut, and he's got...
Yeah, Tony is my favorite character in that show. Tony's great.
Oh, Tony is great.
I really hope I see more of him.
Yeah, he makes good appearances.
Yeah, but so far it's been actually more enjoyable than I thought it would be. Yeah. I watched like 5 episodes in a row.
Oh yeah. I think my favorite character was Jeff.
Which one is Jeff?
Who's the main character? Clay.
Yeah.
You know he has to tutor somebody?
No.
Oh, okay.
I don't think I've gotten there yet.
It's like very short stuff. You'll see.
Oh, okay. But just the fact that it's shown kind of non-linearly.
Yeah.
Through both his life and the tapes life.
Yeah.
And this elaborate fucking Rune Goldberg machine this girl left.
Yeah.
I guess slight spoilers. There is a character where this character's on the tape and what you have to do is throw a rock through his window.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm like, holy shit, like, and everyone's doing it. But the thing is, so far, nothing about what she has gone through to me indicates like, yeah, I should kill myself.
Okay.
Right? Yeah. And it's only been 5 episodes. So like this is also coming from someone, like, not to get too personal, who was like severely bullied in high school.
Yeah.
And like the stuff that happened to her, which is actually sometimes very similar what happened to me, but in like a male term.
Yep.
And it's never a case of, yeah, you know what I should do? I should slit my wrists. Like, everything seems very light.
Yeah.
The one thing I don't get is people who are saying that this series is somehow making suicide seem like a viable option. So I work in a school.
Yeah.
I hear a lot of teachers saying this. I have a cousin who's a teacher. I have a friend who's a teacher.
Yeah.
And their opinions on this show is it's scary for them because the kids in their class are watching it.
Yeah.
But also they say that the show is almost like fantasizing in a positive light suicide. Which so far I do not see any...
I don't think it's doing that.
Yeah, I do not think it's doing that at all, and I don't think it's doing it positively or negatively so far for me.
No, I would say it's showing you the truth of suicide of what it does.
I think I think the show so far has done a really great job of showing you the different ways suicide can affect people, especially in that first episode where the parents come in, like the people who are closest to you, fucking wreck.
Yeah.
Right. But also the fakeness that comes out in people.
Yeah. Where
her locker is filled with like flowers and stuff, and people are taking selfies in front of it, and are like, "Oh, she was so beautiful. She had so many friends." Right. And just this, the fact that such an extreme outcome happened, it brings out the fakeness in people so that they can cope with what happened.
Yeah.
I think the show does a really good job of doing that. I haven't finished it, but
Yeah, I will say, like, where you are at episode 5, I too didn't think that there anything happened yet that necessitated suicide.
yeah.
It does escalate.
Okay. Because so far everything has been escalating.
Yeah. No, it escalates to a degree where you're like, oh man.
Okay.
And I think when you add everything up all together at the end of it, it's probably just like, yeah.
Yeah, so eventually, like, this series, it seems like it's not set up as the straw that broke the camel's back.
Yeah.
It's, here's a bunch of straw, and then it's probably going to be like, we dropped a 2-ton weight on the camel.
Yeah.
Right? And
Yeah.
it broke the camel.
Yeah. That's basically what's going to happen.
But I think the show, for a teen, like, drama and for, like, the teen focus it has, I think it's really well written. I'm enjoying a lot of different character developments. Like, asshole jocks are kind of asshole jocks.
Yeah. Did you think it was yeah, I don't know if this is how high school is today, but like, did you think it was weird how, like, even though there's jocks and like the loser crowd or like the outsiders, they still interact like on a pretty normal basis, and they still can hang out.
So the thing is, I think so. If you're talking about the character, I think you're talking about with the really bleach blonde hair and how he's with that crew.
Yeah,
I think the only reason that is happening is because they all have a vested interest into keeping some sort of secret.
Yeah, but I mean, like, when they do flashbacks and whatnot, and then you see people kind of hang out together.
Yeah, I don't get that at all. Because when I went to high school, it was very strict.
Like, there was a divide, right?
Yeah.
But I am curious, like, is high school today now, like, even though there are segregated groups, it's not uncommon for them
to be like, hey, what's up?
Yeah, it's not like this complete hostility.
I don't know.
It's I found that really interesting.
Like, and I bet that would change between the types of high school and what areas they were in. I think the current principal, or is he vice principal, the black guy?
Oh, the guidance counselor?
He's the guidance counselor.
Yeah.
So the guidance counselor was what was the one thing? He's like, what is was it a noogie, or it was some
a noogie?
No, not a noogie. It was some sort of like a bullying tactic.
Oh, okay.
And he's like, what is this? He's like, you're a guidance counselor, you don't know what this is? He's like, yeah, at the school I was at, people shot other people. So I really don't know what this like first world problem is, right? Yeah. So I think it really depends on where where you would go to school and stuff like that. But to be honest, the show just makes me more curious about current day high school life.
It does.
And you're like, what is it now, actually? Like,
how things have changed. Yeah.
It was kind of the same reason when 21 Jump Street came out.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, that's a gas guzzler. Like, gross. You don't drive an electric car? You're disgusting, right? And, like, the jocks are not cool. Or they're super environmentally conscious.
Yeah.
But the show so far is fantastic. I really want to finish it. It's a good recommendation.
Yeah. Cool. We've reached that point in the show. It's time for Kamen Rider talk. Kamen Rider of the week. We got one.
Oh, Masked Rider.
Yes, Masked Rider.
Oh, my favorite 4Kids TV show, Masked Rider.
Masked Rider. Masked Rider.
Is that how the theme song went?
Okay. Kamen Rider X8 episode 30. I forget what it's called. It's like best versus the best.
Sure.
Yeah. So M breaks the curse. Well, he breaks oh, no, he doesn't.
He doesn't break it. Someone else breaks it.
Okay.
He's a fucking baller.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, never mind.
We'll start at the beginning.
Yeah, how does the episode start?
Episode starts with what's it called? Paradox and M.
Yeah.
They're like, yo, B, we gotta fight.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And then there's like a big heart-to-heart of like, hey, back alley doctor and your girlfriend that's not your girlfriend.
Yeah.
We trust you to go beat all of the people in Kamen Rider Chronicle.
Yeah.
And you're gonna collect a bunch of gas hats and stuff, and you're gonna save the people, right? And he's gotta go fight the big boss bad.
Yeah.
And also at the same time, Poppy went into the old driver.
Oh yeah.
And is like, I don't get it. Why are these visions of Dan Kuroda flashing back to me? I don't get it. Right? And while pretty much the whole episode could be summed up to while M and Paradox were fighting, Poppy shows up.
Yeah.
But then Poppy shows up again because it's not Poppy the first time.
Yeah.
And it's Dan, and he's just in Kamen Rider level 0 as a boss ass bitch.
Yeah.
You were right. Yeah. You were right. Dan Kuroda's spirit. Is it Kuroda or Kurodo? Kuroto?
No, Kurota.
Kurota.
Yeah.
So Dan Kurota, he's just like, he's the boss ass bitch. He defied death.
Yeah.
He put himself into a game and came back, and his spirit form is in level 0 Kamen Rider.
Man, and he's immortal.
He's immortal. He was right.
He was.
So the thing I kept talking about with where this show steals stuff from JoJo is when he's like, oh, I mean, he was like, Yatazo, right? And he's like, does that weird pose.
Yeah.
Like, he pretty much just took that from a villain in JoJo. Yeah. But he's immortal, man. And
he comes back, and he has the ability to suppress bugsters around in his area. That's why M can't be controlled.
Which is within his level that he sets up, right?
Oh yeah, that's true.
Which is weird.
Yeah, he's got like this constant AOE going on.
Because is he now constant AOE cure for bugsters?
I don't know.
Because if they can't do anything, then they're just free game for people to wreck, right? Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He seems to be somewhere between a good guy and psychotic.
No, I think he's fully psychotic, and the only thing making him good is that Poppy is his Pokemon master.
That's true. I forgot about that. Or Poppy is
Ash Ketchum.
Yes. Or Poppy is Aladdin, and the dude is Genie.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
Because Dan is now, he's pretty much a bugster.
Yeah, he says he's a bugster.
Right? And Poppy has the belt that controls him.
Yeah.
She keeps him in the belt. Mm-hmm. Keeps him on tight tabs.
Yeah.
I think the little touch they put in was nice when he got small and got put into a belt. His voice got really high pitched.
Yeah,
I thought that was really fun.
Yeah. But it seems now going forward, it's co-op status.
Yeah.
They got to do X8 and level 0.
And they got to figure out how to beat Paradox.
Yeah.
And they were doing a lot of stuff in this episode that felt like end of series stuff, right? So I wonder if Kamen Rider Chronicle isn't actually the final thing. Like if they're like, I wonder if it's going to be the whole thing of like, we thought Dan was the bad guy, then he died. And then Paradox was the bad guy.
Yeah.
But then like they'll beat Paradox, and then Dan will be like, finally,
I've returned.
I have returned, right?
Yeah.
And he becomes the Kefka of Kamen Rider.
What if I told you that the real bad guy comes back and it's Laser?
Dude, if it's bicycles?
Yeah, what if it's a Laser?
Man.
What if he comes back and it's like, Dan never killed me. I secretly transplanted myself first into a secret game that he's been rebuilding his body in to become back at level 200
or whatever, like level limit break.
Yeah, that's this new henchman. He just limit breaks.
So this show being Japanese,
I
would not put it past them. That sounds like a very Japanese thing to do. Hey, remember this thing we briefly showed you way back at the beginning?
Yeah,
it's back.
Yeah,
it's better than ever.
Yeah, man, Shinobi's back.
That advertisement will never get out of my head.
Yep.
But yeah, like this again, this show is going places and it never stops.
Yeah, it's good. Can't wait. I want to see more.
Yeah, next week I think we have another episode.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. But yeah, that's it. Kamen Rider X8. It's good stuff.
Yeah, give us your thoughts if you think it's as cool as. Did you call Dan coming back like we did?
Yeah. I thought Poppy was gonna die.
That would have been cool, but it's a kid's show. I don't think they'd go that dark. Like Poppy is literally the mascot of that show, so
yeah, and she's kind of like the only ray of hope on that show. So
yeah, everyone else is very moody.
Yeah, she's like the only one who's like, yeah. So I don't know if they could kill her. Yeah, no. Yeah, call it now. Laser's coming back, and he's gonna be the big bad.
He's gonna roll in on a bike.
Yeah,
that'd be great. What if he has a skateboard?
No.
It just has to be a mountain bike.
Oh yeah, what if he rolls in on a map? No, he had a motorcycle though.
Oh no, he did have a motorcycle. What if he just gets a road bike?
No, you can't trade your motorcycle for a road bike.
You can. What if it's like this is the only way I can do it? I had to compact all the power.
That's lame. That's so lame.
Machines are now weaker than I.
Oh, that's gross. Yeah, okay, if he comes back, does he come back and his hair is gonna be slicked back?
Oh yeah, you have to. If you're evil. You have slick back hair.
And he's
gonna no hair.
And he's going to be wearing a suit.
Yep.
Be like, fuck the Hawaiian shirt.
You thought Gem was the game master?
Yeah.
Well, I'm the publisher. I'm the one giving them all the funding, bitch. And it's like,
Yeah. When he's like, he's just called investor.
yeah, in primary stockholder.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
Oh, X8, you're so good. All right, that's it for us this week.
Yeah.
See you guys 1 week from now.
Bye.